Okay, today we're going to talk about the Ash Air SF302 air compressor. It's an air compressor that we've been working with the supplier for about 15 years, developing the machine. We think it's a great machine for a single phase machine for all sorts of applications. The machine runs a 3-cylinder pump, as we can see here, with a cast iron body and cast iron bores. It has a continuous run function. It has an excellent motor and a good quality pressure switch. So focusing on the pump to start with, like I said, it's 3-cylinder. It has an effective intercooler between each cylinder with the fins on the pipes there. It's an oil flooded pump. It runs reasonably cool. It's low RPM, and you can tell when it's running, which we'll see shortly, just how lowly stressed an engineered product this is. The motor itself is an S1 class motor, which means it's built for continuous run. It has both a run and a start capacitor inside this box, and it has an overload switch on the front of it, should it ever overload. The compressor also runs the excellent Condor MDR2 pressure switch, which is an industry standard pressure switch, and it comes with a 2-year warranty from us. Also, as an optional extra, we sell this unit with a small inline regulator and water trap with a gauge on it and an ARO outlet. The machine comes in this form with a 50-litre air receiver. It has excellent solid rubber tyres and rubber feet underneath the front mount there. Okay, let's have a little talk about the continuous run function of this machine, because it's one of the major selling points. So on this machine, there's 2 options on how you run the machine. So with this valve here closed, the compressor runs like every other compressor out there. It starts, it builds up pressure, gets up to a certain pressure, the pressure switch opens, and the machine stops, just like any other compressor. With this machine, a unique function is this continuous run function. So we have a little valve here that is mechanically actuated, and it's based on the pressure that the machine's generating. And when we have the valve open, the compressor lifts up to the pressure it's preset to on this valve. When it gets there, what it does is it opens and it sends air through this copper pipe here, and these actuators here press down on the inlet valve for the pump, on all 3 of the inlet valves, and it effectively unloads the pump. So the pump will stop pumping, but the motor will still go. And what that does is it allows the flywheel to pump air over the pump, which keeps everything nice and cool. It allows the motor to keep airflow going over the motor, which keeps things cool. And then so for whatever application we're using the compressor for, we can continue doing it. The air pressure will come down, and then the little valve here will close, and the actuators will then lift off the inlet valves, and the pump will start pumping again. And we'll show you that shortly with the machine running, how that works, and you'll be able to actually hear how all of that is working. Other features of the machine, it has twin A-section belts that you can buy at any belt shop. So should it need belts, you can either buy them from us, or if you're out in the country somewhere, you can just go to your local garage and buy these belts. It has a very sturdy metal cage protecting the pulleys and the belts, so people can't get their fingers in there, and it can take a fair bit of abuse. So what we should do now is take it over to the workshop, plug it in and run it, so you can hear how it works. So the machine's plugged in, and all we have to do now is turn the pressure switch to the on position, and the machine will start. And we'll start off by running it in a normal cycle. So it'll start, get up to pressure, and then unload and stop. So as we can hear and see, the machine stopped. And so the machine's got up to pressure, and then when the machine stops, you'll hear like a hissing noise just after the machine stops. And what that is that's the pump unloading. So when the compressor has got all the way up to pressure, it takes the pressure switch out, which stops the motor from running, And then the hissing noise is the pressure switch letting all the air out of the cylinders. So when the machine starts up again, it's not starting up under load. What we'll do now is we'll let a bit of air out of the machine, and then we'll activate the continuous run valve here so you can hear when the pump unloads, and you'll get more of an understanding of what I was talking about earlier. So we'll just let a bit of compressed air out and open this valve up here. Might help if we've got some pressure in here. So now we can hear that the pump's working. The machine started up. But when the pump gets up to full pressure this time, you'll hear this actuator here open, and you'll hear a change in tone in the pump. That means that the pump stops pumping, but the machine continues to run to keep that cooling air running over it. And that's exactly what's just happened now. So you can hear the tone difference. So the whole device is still running. Cooling air is still running over the whole pump, over the motor, keep everything nice and cool. So for bigger jobs, when you're spray painting or you're using a disc orbital sander, this is the machine to do the job. It'll run continuously. It won't cycle the motor or the capacitors or the pump or anything else. It's just a very cleverly engineered piece of equipment. So I'll let some more air out now, and then you'll hear the pump starting up again. And there we go, it's starting up again. Now when I want to stop the continuous run function and go back to the pressure switch operation, I just close the valve down here. And now when the machine gets up to pressure, it'll indeed stop. And there we go, that's the SF302 from Ashare. Great machine.